Hello, everybody. Welcome to Management 305, Principles of Management, Vincennes University Distance Ed. My purpose in this video is not to teach you how to use the Blackboard software. At Vincennes University, we use Blackboard software for all of our Distance Ed classes. There are tutorials to learn how to use that, and I'll show you those in a minute. Those of you who have taken online courses with us before and already know how to use Blackboard can probably skip those tutorials, but if you need a refresher, I'll show you where they are. To communicate with me, use my email, tking@vinu.edu, and do it through your Blackboard established email account. Don't email me from outside of Blackboard whenever you can avoid it. Now let's take a look at the Blackboard sign-on screen. As you can see, when there's going to be an outage, they'll usually, if it's scheduled, they'll put up here the downtime. However, Blackboard goes down sometimes unscheduled. So what you want to make sure you're doing in any online course, but especially mine, I have strict deadlines, is make sure you've got your work running a little ahead of time. Make sure you have a backup plan. In case your computer goes down, can you use the one on campus if you're a campus student? Do you have a library where you can use a computer, someone else's computer, etc.? So when you're taking an online class, you've got to be prepared not only for Blackboard software to possibly be down when you need it, but also your own computer. So don't wait till the last minute to do your tests and your quizzes and your assignments. Now, on the sign-in screen, you'll see the helpline here. So if you have any problems with Blackboard running on your computer, call the student support line. They can help you. Usually they can help you with minor issues also, like how to load free Adobe software, things such as that. The tutorials and things are over here. Okay. So let's go ahead and sign in. Now you will, of course, have a different sign in than what I'm using here today. A little slow today. I got impatient. Okay, so when you call up your sign in, whatever courses you're taking will come up over here online. I teach a lot of courses, so I have various ones here. So you want to pick your course if you're taking more than one. Hopefully this thing will speed up for us a little. Here we go. Okay, and I'm going to put this on student view. Take a second to do that. Okay, so this is what it will look like to you. We have a header here showing which class you're in, picture of your textbook. And you might want to go to the announcements page first, and there's a setting to make sure it comes up on your home page. Okay, I always have mine set to come up on my home page. I forget exactly which knob you have to click there, so you might want to ask student support that if you don't already know. The default, I believe, is to come up on your home page. And look at the announcements. I try to email, whenever I have an announcement for the class, I try to email it to you, and it'll come to the email that you put inside of Blackboard. But it doesn't hurt for you every so often to look at the announcements, make sure there's something that you haven't missed the email on or what have you. So, but that's what I try to do. Okay, so now we'll go through the course. I won't click this, but under there it gives you a little bio on me. So you've already clicked the start here. That's why you're listening to the orientation video. And some information on the course here before we even get to the syllabus, kind of highlights when your exams are due. And also it just gives you a little bit of information here that I tell you 2 or 3 places that in this course you're going to need to do all the assignments in order to pass the course. You can't pick and choose. You've got to do all the homework. You've got to do the MyBiz Cafe simulation. You have to do the discussion boards and the quizzes. And then you can take the exams and get credit for them. You can't pick and choose. You do need to complete and participate in the entire course. Okay, so now let's go to syllabus schedule. Syllabus is important. It's kind of the contract between us. It says what you're going to get in the course and what is expected of you. So let's go down to our textbook. There was a picture of the textbook on the header there as we signed in, but there's another one. the ISBN there. Used is fine if you can find one. Loose leaf, e-text, rental, doesn't matter. The text has been around a while, so there probably are some used ones, but e-text is fine too if you want to do that. We also have My Biz Cafe, simulation. It's $29.95 a student, and there are instructions that I'll show you in a little bit how to get on there and purchase that. Software requirement is the standard Microsoft suite of software and the My Biz Cafe, and that is a cloud software. You don't actually download software on your computer. You actually just get a login and go in there and do the simulation on their server. Attendance, well, this is an online class, so we're not physically attending, but you must complete your work on schedule. If you get behind more than 2 weeks with the schedule, you may be dropped from the course, and you'll have a reduction for late work. And we'll go into that more in a minute here. There again is my email. That's the only one to use. Okay. Make sure when you send me an email, you use good conduct, of course. And a little more explanation on the late penalty. I basically give you a 2-week grace period to do your work. And if you're more than 2 weeks late, I reduce your work by 25%. Okay, so let's say there's a homework assignment with a 10-point value, and you're 2 weeks and a day late. Okay, the most you can get on that is 7.5. I'll put zeros in the grade book, and that when you see a 0, that means you need to get excited and get in there and get that work done. If you haven't done it, I have to take that out manually once I do it. I don't like zeros. I don't like having to do that. But if I don't put them in, you will get a false sense of confidence looking at your point score. So I will put zeros in, and when you see that, you need to get cracking. And a little bit again here, you need to do all the assignments in the course in order to pass them. Okay, pass the course. You have to complete and submit the assignments. Okay. It's not okay to just do what you want to do, think you've earned enough points, and then think you're going to pass the class. That won't work. Okay? The class ends when it ends, and I can't extend the course. You guys need to. This is a college course now. Okay? This isn't high school. This is college. This is where people are separated based on how hard they work and how well they can manage their schedules and get things done. Okay? So I'm fairly strict about getting your work in on the time that it's due. We use the Vincennes University grade scale. And let's see, the only other thing we've got down here that's super important is the discussion boards. You'll have several discussion boards in this class, okay, and you need to have at least 150 words, no more than 350 words. You can if you want. I won't penalize you, but that's generally what we're looking for. 150 to 350 word responses. Discussion boards, each one you should respond to at least one student. Make your own discussion and respond to at least one student. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of the syllabus, the schedule. Here it shows you by chapter, by date, what chapter I expect you to be on. Each chapter has a quiz. Okay. Each chapter has assignments, which we'll see them all highlighted on the assignments tab. There's the schedule of exams. And you have a final paper that will be due at the end of the course also. Okay. Let's take a look at how do we actually get to doing our work. What do? Well, we click right here on chapter study. Each chapter has a folder. There'll be some reading and maybe some a writing that I've got for you to read. Maybe there'll be a video. Okay, so you just click on there, and here's various things for you to do. Then your assignments, your homework assignments, and your quizzes. Again, you'll click on the folder. Here you have 2 assignments. You make the call, and then you have some questions for review. And then you have a quiz. You can do the quiz first if you like. You don't have to do it in that order. But when you do your questions and you make the calls, make sure you're giving me more than 1 sentence answers. Don't give me yes, no. give me something well thought out, a paragraph answer. Doesn't have to be a long paragraph. Sometimes you'll maybe give me 200 words for an answer. Sometimes you may give me 100. But put effort into it if you want to get all of the points, please. Again, this is a 300 level class, so I expect some effort put into the class. Okay, here is the MyBiz Cafe assignments. And this explains how you call up the instructions. It'll tell you how to log in, how to get your login and password, how to pay. It'll all be done directly with the simulation company. Okay, and here are, as you do your assignments, you'll click on these links and put your assignment in there. Most people usually take a snapshot of their financial statements and attach them. And with each assignment, you'll send me a little paragraph. Most people do it in Word and then attach it, explaining to me what you tried to do with that particular week, how you tried to make changes to improve your business. It'll give you various options that you can do, and then tell me what you have found as a result and what you plan to do the next time. And this will become clearer to you as we move down and get closer to it. Everybody must purchase it by the end of week 6, okay? If you haven't by then, I will have to drop you from the course, because it isn't fair to have some people do the biz simulation and some not. Everybody must participate or they can't stay in the course, okay? Exams, when it's time to take your exams on the schedule, you'll click, you'll read my notes, you'll click on here and you'll start the exam. Of course, don't submit the exam. Don't click the bottom little submit button. Believe it or not, some people do that every now and then before they finish the exam. Don't do that, okay? Now you're going to have essay questions and you're going to have a true, false, multiple choice type. So as explained here, you take them consecutively. You can do whichever one you want first, but do them consecutive, excuse me, consecutive, I can't even say it this morning. Do them at the same time. And, okay. Your final term paper, after week 10, after you've learned some things, after we've read some things in the chapter and we've talked about some things, then I'll give you the details on what you're going to do for your final term paper. So we're not going to do that right away. That's coming up. Discussion boards, you will have several of them. They might change over what's here now, or they may be basically this. And it shows you when they're due. Obviously, I need to change those due dates. Something I need to do. And most of them refer to a video, and you'll click on here and you'll see the video and come back and do your discussion board. Okay, so that takes care of it. Let's all have a good semester.